We've all played a game that we hate or just doesn't fit our expectations. But what about games that are just straight up bad and suck? I'll be covering the 3 worst rated games of 2024. Let's begin with number 3, Multiverses. I don't know if you've ever played Mortal Kombat, but that's kind of like what this is. Well, it's like a remake. The game launched with so many bugs and glitches, it was insanity. Not to mention the steep prices of the buyable items. All around, the launch of this game was not its friend. But what about now? Did it improve? Well, yes and no. Yes, it improved because the glitches aren't so apparent, so at least they figured that out. But no, it's not better because the gameplay is still dry and no one is playing this game anymore. And some of the characters aren't the most balanced, but other than that, they ironed out most of the main issues with the game, but it's still number 2 because of how it did and how bad the game was at launch. So, I think it deserves number 3. But, at least it was free, so there's that. The game is just flat out boring, and I'm not the only one thinking this. Now, I do believe this game has the ability to be great and good if they trim the edges, per se. I want to like this game, but it seems hard, and some people seem to like this game, which is good. Just play what you enjoy, but this game seems to need some work. Alright, enough of this game. Let's talk about number 2, Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash. Imagine having an amazing series and creators to work on a game and release at the peak of its anime just to have a crappy game. Like JJK, one of the best animes out there, I think at least. Amazing show, and there was a lot of hype for this game. People thought it was going to be amazing. Good combat, good story, good everything. And then it released. One of the things that stands out to me is the game is $60. What? The audacity to have a shitty game be so expensive is beyond me. I am not paying for this game. Based off of reviews, the game is subpar and the action sequences have no satisfaction to them. The visuals are terrible and the story just doesn't even make sense. This is an example of trying to make a game because it's popular at the time and skip all the important playable assets of the game, just trying to release it. And boy did it backfire. Of the people that bought the game, it got mixed reviews, so yes, it could be worse, but that also means of the majority, nobody loved this game because it's just shit. Look at the people that like this game. Look at this dude. He says, "Buy it, I love Satoru Goku." It's not fucking Goku, you idiot. It's Gojo. Even the player base that likes this game doesn't even know what they're liking. It's not right based off the anime. The anime was so good, and this game could have been something amazing, but I can't even talk more about this game. It's just so bland, it never should have been made in the first place, if I'm being honest. It put a bad rep on the absolute banger series. If they could make the abilities that you use more fun and have a greater effect, I think this game actually could be fun. But it's not immersive at all, and I can't see myself enjoying this game with its bland style and poor story and visualizing way of telling. Now, it's not to say that it's a terrible game. It has the baseline to be built up and be amazing. It just needs a massive rework and perhaps be a little bit cheaper to make it more of a deal and a good game, I think. Okay, last but certainly not fucking least. Number 1, we have The Walking Dead Destinies. I know this game was technically 2023, but it's so bad I'm putting it here too. Also, I'm not spending $20 for this game. Where do I even begin? This game is so dog shit. I know it wasn't supposed to be some big blockbuster game with $1 million budgets and a big corporation backing it, and it wasn't the most hyped up game. But still, come on. I mean, look at a game like Lethal Company, made by one dude. It was so good. I mean, yes, the graphics still weren't very good, but the storyline and the gameplay and just the overall concept was still really good at that game. So that just shows it is possible to make a low budget game that's still good and has a lot of good features about it. This has no excuse. The characters look like absolute dog shit, and they could be a huge meme at any time. Not to mention the storyline is so hard and weird to follow because the game portrays it weird. You can choose, from the Walking Dead universe, how Rick became the leader and all of it, you can change who dies, who survives, and, what happens to the group, which is kind of cool, but it also just makes it a little bit weird. And, for people who like the Walking Dead fans, yes, they could just make it the way it was in this show, but I don't know. I'm not going to talk too much about that. This guy cannot be real. This is the player base for this game summed up. This is the type of shit that likes this game. The weird thing about the game is almost every cutscene, which is usually where the best quality scenes happen in games, like in Call of Duty where the cutscenes happen, it's usually where they put the most time into it because, it's a cutscene. Like, why not make it cinematic? But why? Tell me why this shit is a slideshow. Why? Why? Coral, please. Coral. But yeah, this game is just terrible, and it just shows if the graphics and movements and story and marketing and basically everything was different or better, this game could have been something great. So basically change everything. Game of the year worthy. Okay, maybe not that, but still, just would have been better. On top of the many things, this game needs to work on storytelling and find a better narrative to work on. I have no drive playing this game and don't feel immersed in the zombie world at all. The cutscenes actually pain my soul to watch, and it makes me not want to play anymore. Some of the things I think they can do in the next game is spend more time on what the community may want on the game, and maybe you could sell more versions of the game with like certain additions to the game, but yeah, rant over. Those are my top 3 worst games of 2024 in abbreviations because, you know, one of the games was from 2023, but it was so bad it had to be talked about in this video. Hey, on the bright side, it finally made it to the top of the list. You made it to the end of the video. If you want extra benefits and perks, then consider becoming a member at any level of your choosing. And if you just want to support me personally, the super thanks would be very appreciated, and you'll be shouted out in the next video. Hey, look at that. Check out another one of my videos by clicking here.